We all love Peppa Pig, but let's be real, some things just don't make sense. In today's video, we're going to talk about some of the unanswered questions in Peppa's world. Are Susie and Peppa really best friends? We know that sometimes Peppa and Susie fight because Peppa can be bossy and not very nice, like when she talks and makes Susie annoyed. But one day, Susie decided to trick Peppa. She made up a pretend friend named Leo the Lion, just to be mean to Peppa and say Leo did it. Susie came to Peppa's house to play and said she had a new friend you couldn't see, who wasn't even real. Peppa wanted to be a good friend, so she pretended to see Leo. She thought maybe Susie wasn't feeling well and was imagining things. But having Leo at Peppa's house made Susie act mean. She called Peppa silly, said Peppa didn't know anything, made lion sounds, and even said bad things about Peppa when she tried to play too. We all know Leo wasn't real, Susie. You used that trick to get even with Peppa for all the times Peppa wasn't nice to you? That makes a lot more sense. In Peppa Pig, we always hear Grandpa Pig was a sailor. But guess what? There are lots of hints that he might be telling a lie. Maybe he was a pirate when he was young. Really, there are so many things that make you wonder if he's telling the truth about his adventures. Like, he has a parrot named Polly. Parrots are cool, but pirates loved having them as pets. That's a bit strange, right? And get this, in one of the episodes, Grandpa Pig gives George a pirate hat. Why would a sailor have a pirate hat? Sailors and pirates don't like each other. Maybe you think Grandpa Pig beat a pirate and kept the hat. But then, why let George wear it? And here's another funny thing. Grandpa Pig has a pirate flag with a skull on his boat. That's what pirates use. Even if it's just for fun, shouldn't he tell Peppa and George to play like sailors instead? You probably know Madame Gazelle is a vampire now. They never say it right out in the show, but there are so many hints. It's almost for sure. Like when she didn't have a reflection in the mirror. But guess what? Maybe Madame Gazelle's pets are vampires too. That would explain why she takes such good care of them. If they're little spooky monsters, who knows what they might do if they get grumpy from not being brushed? Also, the chart that shows when the guinea pigs eat says they eat way more at night than when it's daytime. Could it be because they're more awake when it's dark? Maybe that's also why someone needs to stay with them even when they're sleeping. It doesn't make sense for a sleepy animal to feel lonely, but if it's awake in the dark when everyone else is asleep, that's different. In Peppa's world, when someone's feeling under the weather, who do they call? Well, sometimes it's Dr. Bear, the friendly family doctor. He listens to chests, checks temperatures, and offers medical advice. But hold on a second. What happens when Goldie the fish or Polly Parrot doesn't feel good? They call the vet, Dr. Hamster, to be precise. Now, on the surface, this seems normal, right? Animals get sick, they need a doctor, and other animals get sick too, so they need a different doctor. But let's really think about this for a second. Everyone in Peppa's world is an animal. So why the distinction? Why isn't Dr. Bear just the animal doctor for all animals? Is there some unspoken societal structure at play here? Are there different medical schools for different species? It raises so many questions. Is Dr. Bear specialized in pig physiology? Does he have a deep understanding of muddy puddle-related injuries? And what about Dr. Hamster? Is her expertise limited to non-human mammals? Or does she also treat birds, reptiles, and even insects within the Peppaverse? We see a diverse range of animal species in Peppa's world, all coexisting and communicating. They go to school together, work together, and even have tea parties. Yet, when it comes to healthcare, there's this clear divide. It suggests a level of biological or perhaps even social stratification that the show never explicitly stated. Could it be that the creators are subtly reflecting real-world medical specialization? Just like we have pediatricians, cardiologists, and neurologists, perhaps in Peppa's world, Dr. Bear focuses on the common ailments of the more prevalent land mammals, while Dr. Hamster has a broader expertise across different animal types. Or is there a more unsettling explanation? Could it be that the different species have vastly different physiologies that require completely separate medical knowledge? Think about it. We never see Dr. Bear treating a fish, or Dr. Hamster giving Peppa her vaccinations. It's as if their medical expertise is strictly delineated by some unseen boundary. What could that boundary be? Species? Class? Something else entirely? Let's talk about Mandy Mouse. She's special because she uses a wheelchair to get around. It's cool that the show has someone like Mandy, but there's a little thing that makes you think differently about her. Even though Mandy is a mouse and acts like a person, Just like Peppa and her friends, we see that Madame Gazelle has guinea pigs that look like real guinea pigs. And there are other normal guinea pigs in the show too. Now, guess what? Mice and guinea pigs are both little furry animals called rodents. So why do the mice act like people, but the guinea pigs don't? Maybe most mice in Peppa Pig's world are just normal animals. And Mandy is different, but maybe she wasn't always different. This thing, plus her wheelchair, makes you wonder if Mandy used to be a regular mouse. Sometimes, scientists use mice for tests. Maybe something happened to Mandy that made her change and act like a person, but it also made her unable to walk. Who knew Mandy might have such a surprising story? Have you seen Miss Rabbit? She does so many things. She flies helicopters, saves people, and sells everything. It looks like there are many of her, right? Like she can make copies of herself. But guess what? That's not it. Is she a bunch of clones? Or maybe some kind of magic person? Nope. Miss Rabbit does something much easier than that. She's actually a secret spy for the people who run England, working for the Queen. You don't believe it? In the episode where everyone goes to see the Queen, you can see that Miss Rabbit and the Queen know each other. And when you think about all the things Peppa's family sees her doing, it looks like Miss Rabbit is watching the Pig family. If you think about it, you'll see that Miss Rabbit isn't everywhere. That's a trick. She only goes where Peppa's family goes. Since we only see what the Pig family sees, it looks like there are lots of Miss Rabbits. But no, she's just watching Peppa and her family. We still don't know why. In one of the episodes, Danny Dog's dad saw a polar bear on a cold island. That's a bit weird, right? Because Penny Bear is also a polar bear, but she thinks and acts like a person. The bear on the island just acts like an animal. It's the same with Mrs. Crocodile, who works at the zoo like a person. But there are other crocodiles that try to bite Grandpa Rabbit. So, some animals in Peppa's world aren't wild, but others that are the same kind can walk, talk, and have houses like people. Why is that? Maybe a long time ago, some animals changed and became like humans because they didn't need to hunt each other for food anymore. Lions don't chase gazelles in this world. Maybe Penny Bear even has a cousin who is just a normal polar bear living in the cold north. So, does Peppa also have family who are wild pigs, like the boars? If Peppa is always faced sideways, why can we always see both of her eyes? Isn't that strange? On the other side of her face, there might be nothing, or maybe even two more eyes. Which one would you find weirder? But we might have an answer to this. One of the producers of the Peppa Pig series explains that the show is made from the perspective of younger children. In this case, children around Peppa's age, which is 4 years old, tend to draw their pictures this way. So Peppa only has two eyes, one on the left side and one on the right side of her face. But we can see both because that's how young children imagine drawings. So these were some of the mysteries in Peppa's world. And as always, we'll see you all in the next video.